Hello, in this video I gonna teach you the greatest integer function. In this video I would like to cover its definition, its graph and its some properties. So let's begin. Well, greatest integer function or usually represented as GIF is a type of a algebraic function. It is a function which produces the greatest integer which is less than or equal to the number. It is usually denoted by the square brackets. It's generally defined from the real to real, I mean the range and the domain. Now, I would like to give some information about its graph. In the Cartesian plane, I mean the x and y plane, so if you take any number between 2 and 3, the answer would be 2. If I would take minus 1 and minus 2, so if I take a point between minus 1 and minus 2, so the answer would be minus 2. And if I take between 4 and 3, so the answer would be 3. So from all these things we could say that the graph will look like some this, the steps, or it's the floor. Now I hope you might understood what it is. So now let's move on some its properties. So first, it's a basic property and it is a very useful property. So the first property is in the square bracket if it is written n plus x, so the answer would also equal to n plus under bracket x if n is equals to x, or I mean if n is equals to z. Well, this could be understood by the example. If I would take example 3 plus 2, the answer would be 5. If I take example 3 plus 2.3, and here 2.3 is under bracket, so the answer would be same as 3 plus 2.3 under the brackets. Now let's go to the second property. Let's move to the second property. The second property is based upon the inequalities, and the second property says that x under the square bracket is always greater and equal to n, then n is always smaller than x, and it also says that x under the square bracket is greater than n, that it always be greater to n plus 1. As I feel there's nothing more requirement to explain you with this. So just for sake, I would like to show an example. So I should take a random number. So let's take 3.2. So the 3.2 under the square bracket gives us the value 3. So it is smaller than 2. And if I add plus 1, so it is 3 is equals to 3. So here was the second property. And the third property, well, the third property is nothing but a nested part of the greatest integer function. It says that x under the square brackets divided by n whole to the under the square bracket is always equal to under the square bracket x by n. So as you can see, this is the only tricky part but a very scoring part for you. So here is an example for our understanding. So 3.2 divided by 4 under the square bracket 3.2 and whole to the bracket, it will equal to 0. And if I take 3.2, I mean it will give us answer 3 by 4, and the value is 0.75, and whole that in the square bracket would give us 0. So here this was all that I could tell you about this. So that's all from my side. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.